Well, once you get to high school, that's pretty common, I think.
That's the whole point of my dad doing. So I can give you a small already. I hate doing stuff.
What's up? You're gonna come back to middle school? I mean, it's Clarkity. Okay, so we are writing linear equations today. Today you'll be given a point, you'll be given a slope, and I will give you the formula to help you kind of figure out what all that stuff is going to be. Okay, so to write the equation of the line passing through point x1, y1 with a slope, you can use the point slope formula. The point slope formula is y minus y1 equals m, and then parentheses, x minus x1. Okay, now what does it say in the little asterisk down below the box?
Be sure to distribute and solve for y.
Yes, distribute and solve for y. Okay, so what this is going to look like on number one. Okay, on number one, we have a line that is passing through this point at a slope of 2. Okay, the point is 4, 1. Okay, we don't need to look at a graph to figure out what that line looks like or what the equation for that line should be, because we can just use the point slope formula. So you're going to keep your y and your x that don't have the little subscript number the same. Stays y and stays x. Okay, so y minus y1, write y1 real lightly so you can erase, equals m should be lightly written, and then x minus the x1 should be lightly written also, because those are the things we're going to be substituting. Okay, so what is our y1? What do we think? I haven't told you, so I'm just seeing if we can figure it out.
4. No, wait, 1.
The 1, right? So on your points, the first number is always x, second number is always y. Okay, so we'll make that x1 and y1. So your y1 is going to be a 1. Your x1 is going to be a what? A 4. Okay, now what is our m? The m is the slope. Okay, and if you need to write that on the side of your notes, m equals slope to help you remember. So instead of an m, we'll have what? Yes, a 2. Okay, now the asterisk below the box up at the top said to distribute. Yes, be sure to distribute. What do we need to distribute?
The 2 into the 4.
Yes, the 2 into those two terms right there. So on the left side, we'd still have y minus 1. Then on the right side, we'd have 2 times x, which is 2x, minus 2 times negative 4, which is negative 8. So we have y minus 1 equals 2x minus 8. Okay? The second half of that asterisk statement after distribute says to do what? Solve for y. So rearrange that to where you solve for y. You need to get y all by itself. There's one thing you need to do. So by take the 1 away, you mean you need to move the 1 away. Yeah. So mathematically or algebraically, how would we do that? So it's a minus 1. What's the opposite of that? Yeah, adding 1. Okay? You got to do the inverse, right? So we're going to add 1 to both sides. Okay? Now, I'm just using them as an example because I have them the day before I have y'all. Algebra 1 is struggling right now with when they move the 1 over. Let's say there's not a negative 8 right there. They're trying to put the 2x and the 1 together. Why can't you do that? Yeah, because they're 2 different terms, right? If I have 1 apple and then I have 2 bananas, can you add 1 apple to 2 bananas to create something other than just saying you have now 1 apple and 2 bananas? No, you've got to keep them separated, right? So the y you bring down the 2x. And what's negative 8 plus 1? -7. Okay? Do not be ashamed. I know you don't have them right now. Do not be ashamed to use your calculator on every calculation. Okay? Especially when you're doing your state test. If they let you use a calculator, like every single one of you guys can do these computations in your head. Okay? But you don't have to just rely on that because, you might make a mistake. So just use your calculator. It's true. No, they don't care about that. Yep. Okay. Are we done?
No.
Why not?
Because
There's still something by X.
It's okay. So the question you need to know the answer to be able to answer the question I just asked is, what are we looking for? Right. Did we solve for y? We didn't?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Is y all by itself?
Yes.
Then that means we solve for y, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so that's it.
Is this in slope-intercept form? Y equals mx plus b. Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Y equals mx plus b is the form you want your answer to be in.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So as long as your slope is attached to your x, and then you have a y-intercept, which we do, it would be -7, and it's set equal to y, you're all good to go. Okay. Formulas are really nice because you don't have to do a lot of thinking. It's just substituting and then solving. Okay, so let's look at number 2. We have the point 24 that this line is going to go through at a slope of 1/2. Okay, so I've got y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, so what do I need to do? What's our first step? So let's be math here. What's a word that we could use to when we know we have a number that we need to put in place of a variable? Substitute. Yes, perfect. So we're going to substitute. Okay, 4 for y1. Substitute. I want you to substitute the others on your own and see if you can figure it out. You've got 2 more substitutions to make. You? That's pretty good. Other than the bus canceling on us. I agree. I assume a bunch of soccer girls at Belle Isle told them that soccer is more important than track. And so. No, you didn't make me feel bad. There's some other soccer girls that keep telling me that. How did you know?
Because
she's the only other soccer player on the track team.
Oh, right. Arlen's on the track team.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't
It's okay. I'm mostly kidding. Okay, slope is 1/2. Okay, the x1 is 2. It's okay. Thank you. I appreciate the sympathy.
I have to be honest.
It's true. Okay, so we have y minus 4 equals 1/2 times x minus 2. Distribute and see how you do.
Oh yeah.
Okay, wait, can I get rid of... Okay, you may have so...
When you are distributing that half, you're because the one's on top, you're basically putting everything over 2. Okay, so on the left side, you still have y minus 4. Good one. Now double.
Hey.
I did have an
I
extra.
was just-
I did have an extra worksheet that I was going to print off
I
today.
was just playing. I didn't say that. That was just playing.
Okay, so if you have two, you multiply it by a half. Okay, that's the same as saying you're dividing by 2. Okay, so I just put it as 2 over 2. 2 over 2 is what? Exactly.
Oh.
Okay, what's our last step to get y by itself?
You have to get rid of y by itself.
Get rid of this 4. So add 4.
Yes. I love the mathiness.
Again.
Okay, inverse operation of minus 4 is to add 4. So if I add 4 to both sides, it's going to give us y on the left side. You still have, you can leave that as, so let me just show you. X over 2 is the exact same as saying 1/2 x. Okay, those are the exact same thing. Okay, so however you write it, that's really up to you. What's negative 1 plus 4? Good. What's up? Nice. Okay, so if you would, let's just do number 3. Just so that I can see that we're doing okay on it. You'll have a slope of 2/3, which might throw you off a little bit. Just remember when you are multiplying fractions, you just multiply across. So the top number gets multiplied to top numbers, bottom number gets multiplied to bottom number. Okay. What movie? I mean, I remember when, like, the story that the movie's about. Like, I went through it, so I remember watching it on TV. But
So first,
okay.
About the part where I'm distributing the 2/3.
Okay, I'll show you. Ocean, what's up? So that's a good question. So let me walk you through that one. Okay. So we have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay. So I'm going to answer Ocean's question first, and then this one. Okay. Because that's the order that they need to go in. So we substitute in 0 for y1. We substitute in 2/3. That 3 looked like I was in kindergarten. And then the x1 needs to be a negative 6. Okay. Now, when you have that negative out in front of the other negative, what happens to it? It should be a positive. Okay. So you had x minus x1, but x1 is a negative 6. So minus a negative is a positive. Okay. Well, hopefully that helps you unconfuzzled. Okay. So now when you distribute, okay, I'm going to write it out so that you can see how it should look. Y minus 0 is going to be what? Y. Right? If I have 2 and I take nothing away from it, how much do I have? 2.
So why is the 6 not negative?
So, and that's just, it's just adding or subtracting negative integer stuff. Our formula tells us that. So there's already a negative there. Okay, so when I substitute in another negative, a subtraction with a negative is going to automatically turn it into a positive. Okay. Okay, so we have y equals. Now we're going to have 2/3 times x. Okay, so again, you're multiplying top numbers together. So 2x over 3 plus the same thing with 6. Multiply the top numbers together, so 2 times 6. Good. And then 3 on bottom. Okay, now you just have to simplify where you can. Okay, can I simplify the 2/3? No, I can't. So it's just going to be 2/3 x plus what's 12 divided by 3? It's 4. Yes. Any questions on that? Okay. I want you to do 2 more on the notes, and then I'm going to give you your homework, which means you're going to have a little less than an hour to work on your homework. So you will not have homework today. I do want you to do number 4 because it's got a fraction and it's got a negative in there. So that way we can make sure we're solid on that. So I want you to do number 4. And I want you to do number 13.
X minus negative 1. Yeah. Okay. Am I right?
Say it again.
So for the middle, I'm 11 and 17 and it would be y minus
But change it. Don't leave it as minus negative. Just change it to plus. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. As soon as you recognize it, I'm okay with you changing it.
Okay, so basically if it's like that, it's actually
Always.
No, so when I get whenever I okay, so in terms of the when I just distribute, I then get the y by itself. Or the y by itself.
Distribute first. Always distribute first.
Let me put that in there.
Say it one more time. What are we gonna what? Sorry. 13. Okay, 4 and 13, guys. I'll put number 4 up there in about 30 seconds. You can check yourself. If you're waiting, go ahead and start working on number 13.
Okay, wait, now I'm confused. Because I did this sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And how am I supposed to get rid of one? And do something for the other side.
What, does it go up in the chicken? I think it's yeah, but I okay.
Ren, ask your question again.
So I distributed and I have no fraction that's okay. But how am I gonna get rid of my one if I have to do the same thing to the other side? What are you fucking understand?
That's confusing. What do you want?
I'll wait for the video. Why did I say this?
Because the negative 3/4.
Okay, and then why is it 24 again?
It is.
It is.
The minus.
Oh, it's just a minus of
Yes. As an algebra student for the next 3 years, you need to start reading this as negative 24 over 4 and not minus a positive 24, because it'll help you.
Because you can't. If you want to put that as a negative,
this is where I get confused.
yeah, this is what I.
Okay. When we reduce 24 over 4, what do we get?
Oh, I found you that.
You get no.
Almost. I heard it. 6. Yes. 6. Okay. Then you just subtract 1 from both sides.
Oh, that's where I was thinking.
Okay. And if I put my answer up here, it'd be y equals negative 3 over 4x. What's okay. No one answer out loud. I want you to think real hard in your head. What's negative 6 minus 1? Don't say it out loud. Negative 6 minus 1. Everybody thought of an answer to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Negative 6 minus 1 is negative 7. Okay. If you didn't get that right, you need to, every time you see a problem like that, you need to drill it. That is the single biggest mistake that you guys are going to make on your state test, is when you have a negative number and you're subtracting a number from it, because we just cannot seem to figure out which direction to go. If you don't know, okay, let's say when I said that, you either said 7, okay, positive 7, okay, or you said 5, negative 5, okay, or you even said positive 5, or somewhere in those areas, okay. The number line method might seem stupid to you, okay, it might seem childish or whatever. It's not, okay. It'll work every time. If I have negative 6 right here and I take 1 away, and I've got negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, I got negative 7, negative 8, okay, and I'm right here and I'm taking 1 away, which direction do I go? Boom. Always, when I'm taking 1 away, that will always give you the right answer, okay. What will also always help you get the right answer, as long as you punch it in right. What will always help you get the right answer, as long as you type it in correctly? The calculator. Okay, so use those tools. Should be minus 7. Okay, flip over to number 13 if you haven't finished working on it. I'll give you a little bit longer, and I'll go ahead and pass out your homework. So, what's a reasonable amount of practice problems to do on these?
3, no, 4.
5. 5.
4.
Shut up. What's up?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's today? Thursday? Monday?
Okay, wait. Yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can change it,
Keep working on number 13. I'll put it up there in just a second. As you transition to your homework, I want you to do the even numbered problems.
do all the even?
Even.
2, 4,
Even
6,
Steven.
8. All of it? Oh. What the freaking? Why is my handwriting like, ew? What is this handwriting? Mr. Bennett,
Yep.
can you write it on the board now? I think I'm getting it. It kind of looks like what I'm doing. I'm not going. I'm not
Believe me, I was also not planning on being here today, so.
If you were not here today, we would be
Do what?
If you weren't here,
No, I had a sub.
oh,
Miss Belk.
wait, Miss Belk was there, so maybe it's for kisses.
Maybe.
Cozy?
Well, I mean, I know she called in sick yesterday, so
I know
like,
she has the flu.
I mean, you can go see in a little bit when you're done with your homework. So it's being discussed, but we haven't decided for
We
sure.
didn't have a field trip. I want to go to the zoo. I haven't been to the zoo on a field trip in so long. It just sounds so good.
Zoos make me feel icky.